How did you get started in the plant biz?
My husband and I, we were both in corporate America. I was working for an oil and gas company for almost 10 years. And then Matthew, my husband, he did design and he was working for an architectural firm here in Houston. But we would, like, on the side, help a friend out. We would do some design work. I would do flowers for a wedding, mostly just for fun.
Yeah.
That was like my creative outlet. And so I remember sometime in, I think it was 2017, I was thinking, there's really not a lot of like plant shops like in Houston. There's none. I mean, there's plant like, nurseries, like a large nurseries, but there's no like boutique style anything in Houston. And whenever we would travel, Matthew and I would travel before kids, and we still travel, but anyway, more frequently we would travel and we would see all these, great little cute spots. But again, there was just a gap in Houston that I felt was missing. And we always felt like we were supposed to do something else outside of our regular office jobs.
Yeah.
And so we came together, we talked about it, and we're like, we should do this. Like, we should open a plant shop, in Houston. And so we were crazy, and sometimes you got to have a little bit of crazy to start something. And so we kind of started with like pop-ups and things like that. Like, some friends had a shop, we started there. It was really successful. With some of that, we started building our some private clients, and then in 2019 we started to sign papers for our brick and mortar, and here we are. That's how we started. And I kept my job at the oil and gas company part-time because I was just scared, to be honest. And
that's a big jump though, so I get it.
Huge jump. And just like dealing with medical insurance, how are we going to do it? Are we going to be poor? Are we going to be homeless? And so I kept that probably as a security blanket for another few months. And then just some life events happened, and then I let that go. And we're all in.
Now, this is your second location, right?
This is our second location, yeah.
Yeah. How was the opening?
It was really, I mean, I think when you're in a business, you're just like swimming, like, and finding Nemo, just keep swimming.
Right.
Just keep swimming. And you don't really come up for air a lot until certain moments kind of force you to pause and to look and take count of what's going on.
Yeah.
And obviously, still running our other shop by the Galleria, and setting up this one, bringing on new employees, so that it was a lot. It's been a lot in the last few months of signing the lease and opening the shop. And so, I didn't really get a chance to like process everything that was happening, because we're just like
mode.
Let's just go. Something happens, okay, let's pivot. But the morning of our grand opening, I came here on 10 to set things up, and there was a line of people like waiting to get in, which was really encouraging, just to see like the Houston community showing up. And we love being in Midtown. I feel like it's a good fit for us. And so the whole day, it was from 11 to 6, the whole day people were pouring in and showing their support, and we felt really, really grateful. And so that was one of those moments where
you could slow down,
kind of like pause for a second and just be so grateful for everything. Yeah.
So what has been your favorite part about owning a plant shop?
Well, obviously the plants. People are getting to meet people. Generally, it's been almost 3 years since it's been more than 3 years since we've been open. And people really do make it really special. People walk in and they're generally happier.
Yeah.
Every time our employees always say, it's great working here because the people that come in are happier. Now, sure, we get some sour apples here and there, but I think that just the environment, you're forced to smile, you're forced to be happy. And so we have a lot of regulars that come, And since in our 3-year journey now, we have some people that we actually, have a relationship with, we go to dinner with, and, their kid is having a recital and we check on them, or they're not doing well and they're sick and we just, so we've now like built a community of people that, so it's more than just the plants. Plants kind of brought us together, but it's really, building relationship and getting to know people and, what's going on in their life. And so that's probably the best part, I think, for me is, the life connections.
Aww, plants bring people together.
Yeah.
So do people ever come in and like kind of treat you like a plant doctor? Like they'll tell you about like a problem plant and they're like, how do I fix it?
Absolutely.
All the
Literally
time?
happens all the time. I feel like even plants that they didn't get from us, people will call us and be like,
Yes.
hey, can you help me with this? What's going on with it? People will bring plants in. They have a pest or something's going on with it.
Yeah.
I'm overwatering. I'm underwatering it. I mean, generally we try to like figure out like, okay, tell me your routine. How much light is it getting? Show me a picture of the spot. And so we definitely try to like help with that. And one of the main reasons why we opened our shop is the knowledge aspect, the education piece.
Yeah.
Because what I said earlier, before we opened, there was not any boutique plant shops in Houston. Mm-hmm. And so you go into these large nurseries, and if you're like me, I mean, Matthew loves it. He loves going into the jungle. Like on our honeymoon, we were at Puerto Rico, and he's like, look at this. And I'm like, but for me, I'm not as, versed as Matthew is. And so whenever I would go into like a big nursery, I'm immediately overwhelmed. Where do I start? What can I grow? What can I care for? Where can I put it? You know what I mean? So when we started our shop, that is a big part of, why we have our shop, is to educate you. So when somebody walks in and they say, oh, I have a black thumb, I kill everything, so you can talk to somebody, because I feel like if you know how to care for this one plant, you will have confidence and you will be like, I do have a green thumb.
So I actually have a sick plant.
Okay.
So we're going to have a little plant therapy section, if you will. So I have a monstera.
Okay.
And I wake up to this plant every morning. Like it's the first thing I see. It brings me so much joy. Like I love this plant. But my mom came to visit a couple weeks ago, and she was in like repotting mode. And I love that because I don't like to repot.
Okay.
So my mom repotted the monstera. And my girl is down bad. So this is my girl now. You see how sad she is?
Whenever you potted it, how big of a pot, from what size did you go?
I went up like an inch, I think, because I try to repot it like every like year and a half or so.
Okay.
And I kept reading that like when you repot a monstera, sometimes they take a couple of weeks to kind of lift back up. And she's right by the window, so I feel like...
Yeah. Huh, okay.
And I got really good potting soil.
Okay.
And I just don't know what to do about her. And I know online it just says 2 to 3 weeks, it should bounce back.
Yeah.
But all the other times that I've repotted her, she hasn't had any issues.
I mean, there could be a number of things. It's really about like knowledge. Knowledge is empowering, and so if you know how to care for it, you'll do better. And so that's a lot of what we do, is just one-on-one conversations with our guests and figuring out what's going on, including sick plants.
What services or events do you do in the shop?
In the shop, we do workshops. We try to do like once a month, have a workshop where, it's a learning experience, but most of the time it's fun. It's mostly, you came to one. That's
yes,
how we met.
I loved that one too.
Yes, that was our Flora, probably our most popular one. It sells out every single time.
It's so good.
It's the flower one for Galentine's, and we're probably going to do another flower one for Mother's Day. But we do a bunch of workshops like that, like mounting a staghorn, planting a desert garden, a terrarium workshop. We do quite a few of those. We try to. We also do private workshops. So, for instance, there's a company for Mother's Day that they are wanting to spoil all their moms.
Oh, that's nice.
And they're bringing them out for Mother's Day. So, where it's it's just a private workshop for them. And we had one of my favorite ones is during spring break, and we're going to offer it again as the kids workshop. Literally, it's one of my favorite. Obviously, I'm kind of biased because I love, little
kids,
ones.
Yeah.
And so that one is, kids, it was also very popular and sold out. Kids come in, they get to learn about soil, and every workshop you leave with something. So something that you potted, something that you designed. Like the kids got to meet some friends. Like we got earthworms out, they loved it. Ladybugs, get to play in dirt and learn about how to raise a plant. We got to start them young so that this next generation will be very appreciative of our of nature, and green space, biophilic masters.
Yeah, I love that. I was actually looking at that one. I'm always keeping up with your workshops. But I was going to bring my niece to that one, but she had gymnastics or something. I don't know what she was doing.
Yeah.
But if you guys do another one, I have to bring my niece because she likes being outside. She likes plants.
Yeah.
She's just not a bug girl. Like if she sees a bug, she's going the other way.
Oh, no. We only had ladybugs, and they were we couldn't. There's hundreds in this one container, and some kids didn't want to see it, and that's okay. It's like a container that you can look through, but those ones didn't come out because they would fill up our entire store. But ladybugs are great because they eat pests.
Yeah.
So, but the earthworms were a hit. Everybody,
loves.
all the kids loved it. So, we're gonna offer it again in the summer. So come back.
Yeah. Since you are a pretty seasoned business owner now, what advice would you give somebody who's starting a new business?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm seasoned.
I feel like you're on your second location. That is
oh my gosh. Well, thank you for saying that.
Yes.
I feel like we are definitely still learning. We're still learning. We're still trying to grow with even how we lead our team. Advice. I would say it's not easy, but I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah.
I don't want to, do what I was doing before. Obviously, having my corporate job, it's steady. You know that you're going to get X amount on this day. You have insurance. Life is very steady. Yeah. This is not steady. And so, I had a, come to Jesus talk with my husband before we started. I had to voice out, verbally say all my fears, however shallow they were, but they were real. And so just talking through that, because it's important to kind of talk through all the scenarios. You could really fail, but you could also fly, and so I do think that if it's always been in your heart, then do it. Even if there's a possibility that it could just not work out. But if it's been, I will say it's a lot of work, it's a lot of grind. We're constantly going. My big advice would be to put boundaries. Really do try to guard our time. If you don't put boundaries, it'll just take, the business. It's really important to set those boundaries that says, I will not do this. And then also have standards for yourself, because I think when you're also starting, you just want to get it, you want to get that contract, you want to get that project, you want to, and so you bend over backwards. But some contracts and some projects are not meant to be yours. Right. If that door doesn't open, walk away. Don't force anything to be yours. Don't, you never want to make something that's not meant to be yours, because then you're going to be carrying that all the time. Let's try to simplify life, and so I would say that's my biggest, have your standards, have your integrity, be ethical, do all the things the right way. Don't do the side thing where don't take shortcuts. From the beginning, we wanted to, all our employees are W-2. We pay all our taxes. Give Caesar give him what is his. Right. And so try to, so that whenever you want to grow, whenever you want to expand, you have everything down. You
Right.
have, and that's hard because you see somebody over here like selling cupcakes and they're just, just getting cash for it. I
Yeah.
get it, but do your best. It's hard at first because you don't have money for an accountant, you don't have money for this. You're wearing, as a small business owner, you're wearing all the hats. But to the best of your ability, do everything right so that when you rest at night, you know that you're running something that's really ethical, and that you have peace about, and that you know that as it grows, you can always come back to the beginning and know that you did it right. So set
I
it
love
up right.
that. You're right. What other things can we expect from Flora Culture in the future?
I will say, even before we opened this location, we were growing a lot, but you couldn't see it. Meaning, like with our greenhouses, nobody sees that. So we were going, underground, so to speak. My dad always says about a strong foundation determines what the building is going to be, what you see. You spend months working on the foundation and you think nothing's happening on the surface. And so before we opened this shop, we were really working a lot on that. So it might be some more of that, like growing. We want to do some more greenhouses that are shoppable, that people, and so grow that.
Oh, okay.
So,
I like that.
we want that every time we open another location, maybe the next phase 3 for us would be a different experience. Like even with this, we want our brands to be strong, meaning that when you walk in, you're like, okay, this is the Flora Culture, but feel a little bit different. So this is Midtown, so that you do feel like if you go to the other store, it's a different experience, you know. So
but
you
still
can visit.
familiar.
Still the same.
Yeah.
We're in the same. It's the same family, and so that would probably be what we do next. Is have some more of our collection be more available to people. So there's some things in the works.
You're like, I can't say too much.
I know.
But I can give you a little something.
Exactly. I'm trying to think of like the right wording of what's the next phase.
A little private label plant.
Yeah.
So, put me on the list.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that where it's a little bit more approachable and more. We always want it to be an experience. So whatever we do next will be a different kind of experience. And
Yes. I like it. Just giving us a little teaser. I like it. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I really had fun, and I learned so many new things about you and plants. I'm excited to kind of walk around and look at more plants, and I'm probably going to leave with a few more. So
good.
Yes.
Good. Just one more.
Just one more.
Yeah.